For micro dispensing, there is one product line that is proven and trusted by manufacturers in semiconductor packaging, electronics assembly, medical device, and electromechanical assembly the world over. DL Technology, superior pumps and needles for the finer things in life.
Welcome to the Hanwha booth here at IPC Apex. Delighted to be joined by Johnny Nichols. Nice to see you, Johnny.
Hi Trevor, how are you? Thank you.
So, a really unique configuration you've got here behind us. We've actually got a dual lane system, back to back. Tell us a little bit about the concept.
Okay, so what we're looking at here, this is the HM series pick and place mounters that we have here that are married upstream to a ESE printer concept, all right? And what you see with the ESE printers is you've got dual printers here that are feeding a dual lane line. And the purpose of this is not to just show the efficiency and the speed gains that you can get out of a dual lane line, it's also to illustrate and actually show live demonstrations of this machine configuration, building two different size boards, two different independent boards, building the boards independently without actually interrupting the production on the other lane. So we can set up and change over these lines or these lanes without interrupting the production on the other lane. Okay.
Two completely different jobs on...
Yes, sir, completely different jobs, different board sizes, different component mixes and things like that. So it's, if you really kind of had to boil it down to what is it exactly, well, it's a 2-in-1 line, certainly, but it's a high-speed line that can run big boards in single lane, or it's a line that can run dual lane for high-speed efficiency and performance and things like that, but it's also got the ability to be a very versatile line because you're getting, like I said, in the footprint of one line, you actually got two lines that can be run simultaneously without affecting the production on the other one when you need to change one over. Okay.
Exactly. So I mean, it's basically making the best use of the floor space, and getting the best production per square foot.
Yes, sir. Maximizing floor space performance is certainly what this is, but it's also maximizing the versatility of the machinery that is in that floor space as well. Okay.
At the back of this, you've got some chip shooters and other placement machines. Let's take a walk down and have a look at these.
Yes, sir.
So, Johnny, we're standing here in front of, as I say, two chip shooters. And is that two odd form we've got behind us?
Actually, not odd form. These are the flexible mounters. So they're high-speed flexible mounters that are made to complement the traditional chip shooter, flexible, fine pitch, general line configuration that most people are setting up. But the difference between these and traditional lines with chip shooters and flexible mounters are, these are our smaller footprint modular systems. So these enable us to actually stage a board through that might be a longer board, say in the length of 30 inches long, or even shorter boards. And because we can do that, we've got the ability to do a wide variety of components or a wide variety of PCBs on these. And just because they're small footprint modular machines, this does not mean they're limited to small board sizes at all.
Right. So you could do LED boards?
LED boards for sure. You could certainly do standard traditional boards. You could do boards for automotive, military, it doesn't matter. These are not built to be exclusive to any one market segment per se. And because we realized significant success last year and now going into this year, we see a wide variety of customers using this, and existing customers that had previously invested in SM series and DCAN series that we have back behind us over here. Some of those have also embraced in their first HM series lines that we have. And these are, like I said, these are companies that are military based for high reliability boards. These are people building 5G network products, people building appliances and things like that. Big high profile name companies that are using this equipment now, and they're just now starting to exploit the capabilities of the lines being able to be used as a mixed mode production line.
So, I mean, you mentioned there that they're doing 5G products. I mean, typically these 5G products are very heavy boards and quite big in size. What size can you accommodate then?
Well, what I'm talking about there is I'm really talking about peripheral products for 5G network connectivity, all right? So people that are building signal amplifiers and things like that to be able to carry signals for 5G network connectivity, those are the type of products that I'm talking about. Okay.
So the configuration you've got here is you've got a revolver heads on the chip places, and then you've got gang pick on the odd form.
Yes, sir, correct. So what you see, it's not actually a revolver head, it's a turret, so it's horizontally opposed. So what you've got are two 20-spindle turrets on these. So these are our high-speed chip shooter configurations. These have modular heads on those. So if you needed to swap out the turrets for flexible heads, you can do that. And a lot of people would say, well, what about maintenance on these machines? Is it really high? Is it expensive to own and operate? And the answer is no. The intelligence that we put into designing these and making them high reliability systems so that the cost of operation is minimized This is one thing that really gives Hanwha, I think, a competitive edge, because we're manufacturers too. We're an aerospace company. We know what it means to build high quality product, but we also know what it means to be a profitable business too. So we build that into all of our technology.
So, now Johnny, you've got a very interesting, novel theory, really, for the eliminating the kitting area in the factory. I mean, it's obviously people take components from the storage areas, usually take them to kitting, then prepare it to put on the line. But you think we should do away with that? Explain to me what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. So can you do away with it? No, you can't do away with it. But I think if you look at how you can smartly take advantage of some of the automation technology that's available today, one concept that we like to discuss with customers and prospects is when you're looking at an HM line like this, don't stop and think it needs to only be 2 modules or 4 modules. Think about the prospect of a no changeover line. And what does a no changeover line mean? Well, what that means is, potentially, if your mix is high, unique part count requirement is high, what you can do is have enough modules on the line on one lane to accommodate one family, a large setup, right? And that one setup might be a common setup that can handle any and all changeover that you were previously having to manually execute through your traditional storage of parts, kitting of parts, and getting those ready, and then change over via carts. We still have carts on these, but I would argue that if you bought enough modules in a line, you could potentially have a common setup for one lane and a larger common setup, or the same size common setup on the backside, to execute no changeover on the line, and you could potentially eliminate kitting because your parts would be live, hot, and online, and the only thing you're doing is keeping the high running part numbers replenished on the line. And with the intelligence that's available today in everyone's equipment, we know how many parts are where. And we know if it's the right load as far as the optimization, we know if it's the right quantity of parts, et cetera, and we know in advance when we're going to have a low level. So there's no reason whatsoever to ever worry about a line being down or out of parts. We can eliminate that altogether and give people more efficiency, more productivity, and ultimately more greater profitability on the products that they're building.
So let me understand, the downside is essentially you're going to have a longer footprint and a little bit higher capital cost, but the upside is you're going to have virtually no downtime. You're going to have continuous production.
That's right. So time is money, right? And when we look at the footprint being larger, let's look at that, right? You've got machines here that are really very, very small. You're looking at a 3-foot wide module here. So comparatively to a traditional module that's 5 to 6 feet wide, sometimes even longer, sure, you're adding more modules, and it seems like the footprint would be larger, but in fact it's not. And when you look at some of these smart peripherals that are combined with some of these lines, like the printers that we were talking about earlier, you can see there's no wasted space here. There's no expensive conveyors, and there's no conveyorization or buffering that you need to have in here, because that's all integrated now in the peripheral points upstream and downstream from the pick and place. So you're really maximizing the footprint or minimizing the footprint of the line. And again, if you can keep it running, that becomes a very valuable moneymaker within anybody's manufacturing facility, in my opinion.
It's a lovely concept. I'd love to see it working.
We do too, and we love to talk about it. It's easy to talk about it. It doesn't cost anything to talk about it, of course, but I think when you show people how these lines can run in a format like this with a few modules, and then you show them how you can run different product on the front and the rear simultaneously, and how changeover can be executed without interrupting production on the other line, which I'm considering the lane as a line, it's a very, very powerful show, and it's something that everybody could embrace if they're willing to make that paradigm shift from traditional storage and kitting. Let's try to get the kitting online and keep it live and hot. Let's not have kitting anymore. Let's make that go away.
It's a lovely idea, and it's entirely possible, because with the new versions of CFX coming down, you've got this automatic changeover facility, and that plays right into it.
It does, actually, and part of the OEE of a line, right? We're always wanting to increase the efficiency of the line, or the operational efficiency of the line, and that's the kind of stuff that can certainly take a great idea and make it an excellent idea, right? And that's using the smart technology that we have at hand today. I mean, we can all get excited about tomorrow's smart technology and smart factory automation and this and that, and having the smartest factory of them all. But in reality, right under our nose, there are so many nuggets of opportunities and deficiencies that can be very quickly remedied by just taking a look at what you have and figuring out what we can use differently, thinking a little bit differently about that, and how we can make our efficiency improve and overall utilization of the equipment improve. Okay?
Great idea, and thank you for sharing that with us today.
Thank you.